What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. And today we are talking about the Sixers. Yes, James Harden, Willie Cauley-Stein. How much of a role is he going to be for the Sixers? Sorry, I'm late. And so for the people who jumped out, let's give it a second. Play the intro.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking Sixers in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is a last minute type stream. I talked about it yesterday when I did my Eagles video or Eagles live stream that I did want to get a Sixers one in today, but I thought with my schedule, it was crazy busy. I thought I can get home at 9:20, and I got home late. I was doing all the messaging on the phone. But shout out to the people in the building. Let's talk some Sixers. We got a game on Friday that I will be live for the play-by-play. It's going to be fantastic. Listen, I said on Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me at Philly_Mike25. I gave a little stat prediction for one James Harden. And I don't think he's going to come out with a crazy 30 piece or something like that. He's looking in shape. And oh boy, does he look motivated. But I think against the Timberwolves on the road, you're going to see a quick 27-11 and 27-13-11. 27 points, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds. A triple-double in his debut. That is what Philly Mike predicts. Let me know in the chat. First game for the beard is going to be what? Let me know. But shout out to Daniel, Andrew, Ethan, Shane, Ricardo, 58 Fresh, Yamlu. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Philly fans in Florida, what's going on? What's going on? We just trying to chop it up about the Sixers for a little bit. Like I said, this is a last second type stream, but I'm very, very excited for the debut. Not just Harden, right? It's not like we are only waiting to see Harden. It's what Harden brings to the Joel Embiid MVP type season. It's what James Harden brings to the coaching of Doc Rivers and the rest of the supporting cast. Like, outside fans are saying, why are you guys so hyped for James Harden? He's a blah, blah. It's not that. It's what James Harden is bringing to the Sixers. It's what he's bringing to the Sixers. And again, shout out to the 30 in here. Hit that like button if you haven't done it. Last second stream. I set it up at 8:55 for 9:20 because I was on the highway and then traffic hit and I couldn't get on the highway. Then I got home and my studio wasn't in the right position. But shout out to y'all. Shane coming with the score prediction. Appreciate that. 120-99. Philly fans in Florida said, Mike, wasn't sure if you would be out of the doghouse after last night. Man, it was a busy night. Like I talked about it last night doing the Sixers live stream, but then stuff came in, part of the doghouse type thing. But it's all good. She knows the grind. 58 Fresh at 26 points, 12 assists, and 8 boards. 2 boards short of a triple-double, but that is pretty much his average, right? That's what net fans don't understand. They're like, you're getting a fat, lazy Harden, a guy who quit. How can a net fan talk about a Sixer, talk about a guy quitting when 247 days it's been since Ben Simmons played basketball at all? At all. So I don't want to hear about Harden quitting. And when you look at James Harden's game, that is what he does. What 58 Fresh said, 26, 12, and 8. That's on a regular night. And I think we're going to get one of them spectacular type regular nights for James Harden this week or this Friday against the Timberwolves on the road. Here's the thing, though. A picture surfaced today of James Harden even skinnier. So you saw the James Harden in the Nets uniform. A little unmotivated, a little chubby. He comes to the Sixers first practice. You can see a little something, but already better. And bang, boom, Harden. looking legit. Pause. I ain't trying to judge no guy, but whatever type of weight loss program he get on, can you give it to me? Can you give it to me? I would like to, get on my fat boy throughout the holidays, yum, 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 and then be like, hold up, wait a minute. I got to get right for something. Bang. I don't know what Harden does, but he knows how to fluctuate his weight, and he looks motivated. Lauren Rosen talked about it on Twitter. Again, follow your boy on Twitter. He is as motivated as he's ever been. We're talking about a guy who's been to the Western Conference Finals, taking on the Golden State Warriors dynasty, and he's more motivated than he was in Houston, and more motivated for sure than he was in Brooklyn. Mersky said 29-8. I'm loving it, right? And 20 is very low scoring wise for James Harden, but you do got to take in consideration the acclimation of playing with the new starting five. Who is the starting five, by the way? We're going to talk about that too. Let me know your input when it comes to the starting five. I think we pretty much know James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid are in the starting lineup. We know that for sure. It's really coming down to Danny Green or Matisse Thybulle for that third piece, the wing, one of the wing guys, small forward. Who do you think should start? And again, that's not saying who's better, like who complements the starting five in Tobias, Maxey, Harden, and Embiid better, Matisse Thybulle or one Danny Green? Ethan said James Harden will dominate on Friday. That's big facts. Ryan Rowe, what's up with you? Richie said Philly Mike was on the long way on the freeway. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ryan Rowe with the 38-7. Sign me up for that easily. The beer weighs 5 pounds probably. Hey, but he don't never take that down. The beard never comes down. Backyard Bird Podcast said, Mike, what do you think about the USFL? I haven't really looked into it. I see all these people getting signed and all that. I have to get into that. I haven't looked at it one bit. Mr. Rudy in the building said, who has found themselves in the rabbit hole of Western Conference Insta? That boy working. He's working. Like, this guy is putting it all out there. You can't deny his motivation is at an all-time high. Latif with the 25-7-5. I'll take that to my bank for sure. So Shane coming in with the Maxey, Harden, Reed, and Embiid. That's the starting lineup of Reed. Reed might not even get minutes. Let's talk about this Willie Cauley-Stein signing for a little bit, because Niang give them more space. Listen, Niang in the starting lineup, Maxey, Harden, Niang, Harris, and Embiid. Here's the thing, Niang playing that number 3 position, he's going to have to guard a wing. Whether, let's just say we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets, he's going to have to guard one of the guys named like a Kyrie, or, maybe you could put him on Ben Simmons if we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets, for the simple fact that he's just going to stay in a dunker's position anyways. But, wing nowadays are very athletic, and having a guy like Niang who is a slower guy, I definitely agree with you that he spreads the floor on offense, gives you another shooting target, and so does Danny Green, not to the level of a Niang. Niang is more, more accurate at the 3-point shot than Danny Green is now, but he's still shooting 38%. To me, if I'm looking at the starting lineup, I'm going to try to start Matisse Thybulle for his wing defense. You got Maxey and Harden, who are not slouchers when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, but they're not, they don't got no chemistry in the backcourt together to play against some dominant guards in this league. I wanted to see how Matisse does. Now, Matisse is a liability on the offensive side of the ball, so you're going to have to figure things out, right? Now, double teams are still going to go to Embiid and Harden. We'll see where Maxey and Harris fits in. But if the opposition decides that, hey, we just going to let Matisse wide open, I'm talking about wide open, like nobody even run, he's going to have to knock them down or he's going to lose minutes. Danny Green still shooting 38%, slow on defensive side, slow on the ball movement, but can still knock down that corner three. And if you ever thought the corner three was going to be even more open than it's ever been in Philadelphia, it will be that the next 24 games where Harden and Embiid is going to be a matchup nightmare for multiple teams that we play. The Big Fuzz says Thibault because of more defense. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Go Thibault. Shout out to y'all. Cal Bundy said, I think Maxey should come off the bench with the green light. I think it would be a better rotation for him. Listen, that is definitely going to be the fit. I think Doc Rivers is going to try to test the waters. And because Maxey has been one of our better players, he's going to give him the opportunity to see how his game fits with Harden, Embiid, and Harris, and how the rotation comes in after. But listen, sometimes you got to make critical decisions if you're talking about a, championship type run. And guys like Lou Will and Manu Ginobili made a living and a killing and a bag off of being that sixth man. And being a sixth man doesn't automatically mean that, Maxey's going to lose minutes to some of the starters. It just means that closing lineups, Maxey will be there. It's just to help stagger and give a guy who's dominant with the ball in his hands more opportunities with the ball in his hands, where we're not looking at, hey, Harden, go do your thing. Hey, Joel, do your thing. Hey, where's Busy Bias for a little bit? Definitely got to consider that. But I think the first couple games, you got to give Maxey the opportunity to show, let me be in the starting lineup, maybe come out early so I can stagger minutes. Listen, I don't think Doc Rivers is going to be able to mess up the stagger minutes. We all know the all bench lineup. We all know the all bench lineup with a Tobias Harris, where when Tobias Harris is in that lineup with bench players all over the place, Furkan, Shake, but it was Furkan, Isaiah Joe, Niang, and whoever the center is, whether it was Drummond or now Paul Reed, the ball's in Tobias's hand, and that is what we don't want. That is what we don't want. So it makes it very interesting to see how Doc changes things up. And you're not going to get the whole story this Friday. What you're going to get this Friday is how motivated James Harden is, how good the duo of Harden and Embiid will be. That is what you will understand by the end of Friday night. Because when you are that good of a player, Harden, Embiid, right? Guys who make the All-Star game, right? Harden lived in the All-Star game, and he didn't play because of the Sixers holding him out or the hamstring, blah, 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 right? But them two type of players can gel like this. It's what Harden and Embiid and their tandem does for the rest of Doc's coaching and the other players. Shout out to everybody in here. Like I said, talked about it yesterday on the Eagle stream that we were going to do a Sixer stream, but between the wife, between driving on the highway, I wasn't about to do it, but something said just to put it up there and let's talk about it for a little bit. Shout out to everybody in the building. S. Brown in the building. Philly Take with RB. What's up with you, Philly Take? Hey, if you're not busy, you can always hop in, talk some Sixers. Let me know. Naheem Hood said Embiid and Harden will combine for 60 to 70 points on Friday night. Listen, that is just a fantastic debut for not just Harden. Like I said, so many people are focusing on Harden. I am watching the beard. I'm going to be watching them with the popcorn. Whenever you guys take a second to look away for the live play-by-play, I'm going to, get the popcorn ready. You have to go off the screen. I'm just joking. But at the end of the day, it's what Harden does for the Sixers, and I think it's going to be a lot more than what people believe is going to take place. Latif said, I'll put Shake at the shooting guard, bring Maxey off the bench. That's an interesting topic there. Look, I do believe if there's any shakiness in a Maxey Harden Thibault, Maxey Harden Green lineup, right? Forget the Harris and the MB, the 4 and the 5. If we're talking about backcourts and Maxey and Harden, and you could sprinkle in that third guy, right? Which they're mainly with the front court. But anyways, if there's any problems with the backcourt, Maxey's going to be the one that gets experimented with. And by no means is Shake Milton a better player than Maxey, but that could give you Maxey being the dominant ball handler, the dominant scorer in the second unit, And it does help because a lot of people have been saying this, and I've been saying it too. I think Shake is a decent combo guard. I just don't think Shake is everything you want in a point guard, right? When you give him the responsibilities of, you know, being a floor general while still trying to create a shot off the pick and roll, he struggles there, right? That's what Shake Milton does. And when you got him with James Harden and you're only expecting him to shoot spot up jumpers, get the ball, put the ball on the ground for a little bit and create for himself and not others, well, then maybe Shake is a little bit better than what we think he is. I just don't think that he fits the point guard role solely. So we're going to have to see how all that unfolds. I think Maxey will be the one who gets tested in and out, in and out, in and out. Mursky said, Cauley-Stein going to be great for Harden when Embiid leaves the court. He's going to be a great fit. Well, we do know he's athletic, right? You do know that you're going to get a guy who's 7 foot, who can rim run back and forth. Harden takes advantage of these, right? And whenever Harden does want to go in ISO mode, right? Terrific career just being an ISO ball handler and score creator. James Harden has been. That's not to say he hasn't averaged 10 assists and he can dish the ball like no other, but he can be a dominant ISO player. And so you do the pick and roll. And like Capella, you've seen the Harden and Capella duo in Houston over time. Lob City, Lob City, Lob City. And I'm not saying that Cauley-Stein is Capella. I'm not even saying that he can play, he's athletic, but he only got 10 days to prove that the Sixers should give him an extension or sign him to the team, right? 10-day contract doesn't mean he's going to make it. He's been on the Mavs, the Golden State Warriors. He's been on a lot of teams where he got DMP'd. So we have to figure out why he got DMP'd and how much of an upgrade rim running with James Harden is he compared to a Charles Bassey or a Paul Reed, who don't reach 7 foot. That's the main thing. And B goes out. We're already a bad rebounding team. Who's going to grab the boards? Emily said, you think Harden was the missing piece for the Sixers that the Sixers needed? The exact missing piece, right? We talked about Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal a lot because they were disgruntled superstars who fit the mold of a second best player next to the best player, Joel Embiid. Well, James Harden does what they do longer than what they did. James Harden been doing it for a decade, and he gives you the best of passing, scoring, ISO, catch and shoot. As much as I love Dame Lillard, and I'm not saying right now Dame Lillard is, probably in better shape minus the injury, and he probably could have did it longer and blah, 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 blah. But you just got a guy in James Harden who can change his game. I'm not so sure, Dame Lillard can change his game. His game is beautiful, right? Dame time. But we saw James Harden go to the Nets and take a back seat to Kyrie and KD. And the reason he didn't like it is not because he was taking a back seat while still scoring 25, 10, and 9, right? These are all-star stats. People talk about James Harden being washed, taking a back seat. Well, shoot, I'll take that back seat. I'll be considered washed if I'm still putting up numbers that all-stars can't put up. That's my whole take on that. Diverse said, Willie Cauley-Stein is going to be great. He played really well with the Warriors. Again, you get a guy. Listen, this guy had so much potential out of Kentucky. I know he got overshadowed by Cat, but coming out of Kentucky, the 6th overall pick, I thought he would be that 15 to 16 points per game, dominant on the boards, athletic guy, something like like a better version of Nick Claxton for the Nets. And I don't know what it was. The Kings organization has a way to tear people down. So get these people out of the Kings organizations while they can, right? They had that one good, they haven't been good in a while, right? It goes all the way back to the Mike Bibby, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber days. That's how long. As Sixer fans, we can't talk because we've been down in the dirt for a while too, until the Embiid and Fultz and Simmons era was supposed to be good. Fultz bites the dust, and eventually Simmons bites the dust because he just was never who we thought he was, right? We supported that guy for way too long. To talk about Simmons for a little bit, have you seen the video on Twitter that Net fans are claiming, oh my goodness, Ben Simmons working on his shot. I can't wait to see him in the game, blah, blah. He's pretty much 2 feet away from the basket. He has the ball in one hand. Kyle Korver is in front of him, and they're talking about, and he's flicking it. Kyle Korver is talking to Ben Simmons about his jumper. And whatever exercise this is, they're 2 feet from the basket. One hand, flick of the wrist. Are you really telling me that Ben Simmons is taking now training from another person who's not his brother, right? I don't care anymore. But he has to go that far back to look at the flick of the wrist? To look at the flick of the wrist and watch the ball go in from 2 feet. That's how far he has to go back. Good Lord. I just don't understand how somebody can allow that to be their destiny. Richie says Sixers games going to be longer with all the free throw attempts. Are the Sixers better as a half court or a full court team? We're definitely going to be better as the half court team now because the pick and roll. I'm not sure how much a guy like Embiid is going to pick and actually roll. He might pick and pop and do a lot of different things in that regards. But we're going to see how Embiid adapts. Hold on one second. We're going to see how he adapts. But these are, like I said, these are two guys who can adapt better than majority of the NBA. So I'm not worried, but definitely I would call ourselves a half-court team. Embiid can run, but he's not trying to run every possession. And then, looking on the opposite side, James Harden, he creates his assists by getting to the hole, going off the pick, biting other defenders to come in the lane and try to put a body on Harden, and then he goes out and makes the dime, the dish. Philly fan said, Mike, any more moves before Monday? I don't think so. Honestly, what I think happened with the whole buyout thing? Remember Daryl Morey was on I forgot the podcast name, but he was on a podcast and he mentioned that we already got somebody pretty much locked up from the buyout. It's imminent and we just can't announce it yet due to some, regulations and whatnot. I honestly think that deal fell through. No way, no how was it Cauley-Stein the whole time, because Cauley-Stein was already waived. Willie Cauley-Stein was already waived. So 5 days ago, when Daryl Morey said on that podcast that we got a guy, he's pretty much ours. We're just jotting out, we're crossing the T's, dotting the I's, can't announce it yet, but he is ours. That was somebody else. Whether it was a Robin Lopez, whether it was a big man or a guard, it was somebody else. Because Willie Cauley-Stein could have been announced 5 days ago. So what happened is Daryl Morey quick on his feet. Whoever it was, whether it's a guard or a big man, I'm thinking it was a big man. When the deal fell through, Morey said, I can't go into this empty-handed. That's when he did his little deeper dive and said, look, Willie Cauley-Stein, on the surface, what is he on the surface? He's a 7-foot center who can grab boards in the absence of Joel Embiid and rim run with James Harden. Has he played a lot? No. But is he old? No. Let's give it a try. So I think Daryl Morey had a move, lost a move, and made a move. Joshua, what's going on with you? Jameer, he wasn't much, Ethan. We're talking about Seth Curry. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to keep him, but in a trade like this, if you're telling me we don't get it done to keep Seth, bye, Seth. Shane said, Ben, please pay for the surgery. Go dominate the WNBA. Marcelli said he's actually like 7'2". Yeah. I didn't say he was exactly 7 foot. I meant to say a 7 6 foot plus guy to be down there on a low block. And again, we're talking about for the next 24 games, if he gets past his 10-day contract, right? Whoever has to play in the absence of Joel Embiid per night is only going to have to play, that 12 to 15 minutes in the regular season, but it's going to drop down to 8 minutes, 8 or 9 to 11 minutes, 12 minutes when it comes to the postseason. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm thinking it was Boogie Cousins. It definitely could have been, right? Somebody was there. And for him to go get Cauley-Stein, to me, I think it was a big man. He had a big man who you couldn't officially get the numbers down and sign to a contract until he went through the proper things. And somehow that fell through. Whether he got snatched from us, we couldn't work it out. Something happened. But to me, Cauley-Stein was the quick fixer, picker upper, like bounty. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to pay dividends. 58 Fresh, I think they're still looking. I would have liked Ennis Freedom. I mean, look, on a defensive side, he's a liability. He can get you some offense, though. He can grab rebounds. Like if you want to know what Cantor can get you rebounds and he can get some buckets off the bench, solid in that regard. Defensive liability, though, but there's not. I mean, again, Giannis and the Bucks are going to be a problem. You're going to have to be stout in the paint at all times because Giannis is just a problem in the low block. When you look at the Brooklyn Nets, they got Andre Drummond. How many minutes is he going to play? Blah, 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 blah. We'll figure that out. But the Bulls got Vucevic. So you definitely got to have some low post defense. But again, Embiid ain't going to be out for long. So I hear y'all on that for sure. Marcelli said he's a good lob threat. Yeah, rim runner. And whenever you got Harden on the whenever you got Joel Embiid on the floor, I mean, what am I saying? Whenever you got Joel Embiid off the floor, Harden's most likely going to be on the floor, right? The stagger minutes between Embiid, Harden, and Maxey got to be fantastic. And it should be easier to do because you got 3 guys who can get a bucket. I mean, whether they're with Tobias Harris or others, that's here or there. But you got to stagger the minutes. And when the minutes are staggered and you got a guy like Cauley-Stein on the floor with Harden, the pick and roll is going to be a problem. A problem. Relly Rell said Stein will have to prove himself. And I like that. Yeah, right? Again, whoever we were going to get off this buyout probably would have been able to just have the job, because that's what they were working towards. I like how Morey is going out and getting a guy who had all the abilities, right? He was the 6th overall pick for a reason. And I seen the potential in Sacramento before everything went way south. I mean, Cauley-Stein was on the Mavs and the Warriors and got DMP'd a lot. He was on the Mavs last and got DMP'd he hasn't played a game for the Mavs. With that being said, he knows he got 10 days. And he knows that the first game that he can play, he's going to get that 13 to 12 minutes. We're going to want to see if he can hold the fort down for 10 to 15 minutes when Embiid is taking a break. And that's going to be interesting to see. Trill's going to surprise everyone. He got something to prove. Yeah. And a 10-day contract is really going to make that come out of him because there's no slacking, no laying around, no saying, well, maybe next game. In 10 games, or it's not even 10 games. It's a 10-day contract. So in 10 days, you might only play 4 to 6 times. You got 4 to 6 games, 10 minutes per. You got 45 minutes to show us who you are. That's it. I wonder how the dynamic of Kyrie, Seth, would work out since Kyrie and his wife were a thing before I know I would be awkward around dude. I didn't even know that. So Kyrie messed with Doc Rivers' daughter before Seth was with her? That I didn't know. Watch Willie's defense against Embiid. Shot blocker, rebounder, and defense. He has a nice jumper as well. Hey, I hear you. but we haven't seen Cauley-Stein play minutes the way he did when he had that defense, right? Cauley-Stein was one of them athletic big men who was a high flying, always going over here, going over there, making the hustle plays, had a little jumper, wasn't afraid to rise up and slam it on you. But that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. He's been just floating around the league since, and that's why a 10-day contract comes in handy. Philly fans said off the subject really quick, Mike. MLB firm deadline is Monday. Thoughts? I wish I can give it to you. I don't really have it right now, especially, MLB with the whole lock. I'm totally thrown off with all that. Sixers need to bring a parade to Philly for me to get a day to wear Sixers gear because we won. A Sixers parade it's in the near future. I can feel it. Jameer said, you think Joel can coach him up? Who we talking about? Willie Cauley-Stein? Listen, if there's any big man you want, listen, Cauley-Stein is in the best position he's been ever, right? Because let's be honest, when he was the 6th overall pick and he was drafted to Sacramento, the sky was the limit. But people don't survive in Sacramento. They haven't been good since the Bibby, Stojakovic, and Weber days. I feel bad for DeAndre Fox, right? I'm happy for Halliburton. He's out of there. I feel bad for DeAndre Fox. Sacramento hasn't been good. With that being said, Cauley-Stein gets to revive his career as the backup to the MVP of the league. Go in there, learn from him, get your mindset right, and you might have a free ride. You might have to only be in the game in playoff time, in playoff minutes. You might have to only do things hustle-wise, athletically, tough, smart, for 8 minutes. You give me 8 tough minutes in the playoffs because I think Joel Embiid is going to play a lot of minutes. Now, if we are in the first round and we're blowing somebody out, Cauley-Stein get more run. But if Cauley-Stein plays his role right, he can get another contract with the Sixers next year if he really is only ever going to be a backup again. Like, he has a opportunity to get back in the league and be on people's radar. Joey said, convoy heading to Washington, D.C. I'm not sure what that means. Fast out loud, what's going on with you? What's going on? Paul George and Kyrie, look it up. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I never heard of it. So, I try to stay out the days of our lives part of the NBA because they're divas. They're divas. They mess with all these celebrities and blah, 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 blah. But, it's definitely soap opera type thing with them, right? The whole Lakers and, listen, how about it goes back to LeBron James and Delonte West. Delonte West messing with LeBron's mom and stuff. Then you got old boy D'Angelo Russell before he got all chatted up, tattletaling on Swaggy P. Oh, you were this with your, what I mean? Like, whoa. We talking about the basketball front. I mean? That's what we try to stay on. The difference, though, Seth married her, so I know I would not be able to be in that locker room knowing she slept with dude before. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. Steph gonna have to have some real he gonna have to be pretty content with himself. Not content, but sure of himself, knowing that she, that Kyrie's like, yeah, how's she doing? Kane says Cauley-Stein is here because of Harden, pick and roll partner. I did say that on Twitter too. On Twitter, I said that this is a Harden type pick. It's a Harden type setup. But again, I don't think Cauley-Stein was Daryl Morey's first choice. I think he was the rebound, which I'm not saying it's a problem. I think it was the rebound, though, because Cauley-Stein was waived and could have been told to us before yesterday. My bad, guys. Mr. 89 said, I blame the MLB owners or the mess for this mess. In my opinion, it's going to be a significantly short season for baseball. I think, yeah, look, I'm always pro player. I'm always pro player. So I'm going to agree with you that. I'm going to agree with you on that. However, when we look at the NBA, when we look at the NFL, my goodness, does MLB players get paid a lot more? NBA looking at them like, huh? NFL really looking at them like, huh? Y'all really mad over this? Y'all really, really, really like this? Rel said Brooklyn is dysfunctional, and how will be and we play when we will never. Wait. Brooklyn is dysfunctional, and how will Ben play when he will never want to touch the ball again? Hey, look, the whole Ben Simmons fiasco is going to be interesting, right? For those just getting in here, we got 100 people in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. We're going to be rocking out Sixer Nation all through the rest of this year. 24 games with James Harden and Joel Embiid. Listen, the Sixers are 4-8 without Joel Embiid on the floor. They are 31-15 with Joel Embiid on the floor. I said this on my last video and some of y'all commented, but let me know in the chat right now. If you haven't commented yet, still let me know. 24 games left. How many games will the Sixers win? What will be our record in the last 24 games post All-Star going into the playoffs? Let me know in the chat so I can read it. But real quick, Ben Simmons is out there with Kyle Korver, 2 feet from the basket, with his hand like this, flicking it in. Whatever Kyle Korver's technique is, and I'm not trying to say it's good or bad because Kyle Korver's Kyle Korver. Let's be honest. He was wet from 3 pulls. But you have to go all the way back to your hand, your flick, 2 feet from the basket. Like, were you really that messed up in the membrane? 87 people, only 13 likes. Whoa. Let's get these likes higher than that. Listen, we got 107 people in here. The like button is free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And it does bring more Sixer fans here. Subscribe if you are new as well, because we're going to be live for the game. And we will be live like this throughout this season, right? So we drop regular videos, 8 to 12 minutes long. We do live call-ins. And we also do the live play-by-plays. Every single game the rest of the way, minus Tuesday's games until we get to the playoffs. Tess said, you got the ears and eyes over here in Jamaica, Philly Mike. Sixers forever. I bleed blue and red. Shout out to Tess White, rocking with Sixer Nation from Jamaica. Dang, the Sixers are Jamaican me crazy right now. Appreciate you for tuning in. So we got 20-4 from Philly fans. We got 17-7. All right. So really, Rel thinks there's going to be a little bump in the Harden and Embiid ride to start off the 24 game. Alfonso Fuentes in the building, 17-7. All right, I ain't mad. S. Brown said 20-24. Marcelli's with 18-6. Timothy said Cauley-Stein is a good pickup because he's a big, but offensively, is this a good trade? Well, this is the thing. He's 7'2", 7'1". He's over 7 foot. He can get you the rebounds. He's athletic to set the hard pick for Harden, and then maybe go up and catch some lobs. Maybe he's a little knockoff Clint Capella. You saw the damage that James Harden over his career did with Clint Capella. So if he's a, poor man's Clint Capella, it's still good for 8 to 10 minutes, but we're going to have to see. And that's why Morey's smart. He didn't sign this guy. He gave him a 10-day contract. Means you're only going to play 5 to 6 games in 10 days. You got to prove it. Fast Out said last 24, we go 20-4, 18-6 for Fresh, 20-4 for Ryan Rowe. Kane with the 17-7. Mr. 89, 16-8. That's the lowest so far. And Mr. 89, elaborate a little bit. You think there's going to be some bumps in the roads before we get to that, before we get clicking? Or you think, I didn't check the schedule to really know. Diverse said, I don't think Ben is going to play any game until after Philly games pass. That's March 10th. Your boy's birthday is March 14th. We got 19-5, 20-4. Yoda in the building with the 21-3. I like the 21-3 record. Listen. We about to go 1-0. this Friday, right? The Minnesota Timberwolves, they're not going to be able to handle us. And I even said on Twitter, that's why I say follow your boy on Twitter. I predicted James Harden's stat line, and I know people think he's going to drop 30 and whatnot, and maybe he can. But I got the easy 27, 13, and 11. Only 27 points, but a quick triple-double for y'all. Professor said 40. You know, we're talking about the last 24 games. Jay said 57 and 35. He's talking about the overall prediction, the overall record prediction. I ain't mad at that. Hey, listen. It's 10 o'clock where I'm at. It's 10:21. I'm not trying to do math. I want to know what you think the Sixers are going to do the last 24 with Harden. North Philly Reek said 19 and 5. Shane Butler saying, I'm going to top it. 23 and 1. One loss. I ain't mad at the game. You got to have that Sixer love in your heart. So again, we touched a lot so far. We only been on here for 40 minutes, but let me ask you guys real quick, right? Because I think that, again, now that we got more people in here, I know the people who were in here from the gate already answered this, but we're going to ask it one more time. The starting lineup, right? Let's be honest. You're not taking Harden out, Harris, Embiid. Now, some people can say Maxey off the bench, and I totally understand that. Just because Maxey comes off the bench don't mean he won't be in the closing lineup. He's one of our best players. He'll be in the closing lineup. But maybe he's better on the staggered minutes off of Harden and Embiid, and he can be the focal point in the second unit with maybe a Tobias who hangs through to the second unit or someone. I don't know. But let me know. Danny Green, Shake Milton, or Tobias, or Danny Green, Shake Milton, or Matisse Thybulle. But more preferably, Danny Green or Thybulle. Who do you think, who would you rather start for the Sixers in the beginning of this 24 game series, 24 game ending season play for Harden and the boys? My bad. Philly Fresh said, yo, that what's good, y'all. Make sure you hit that like button for my guy. BBP needs to get back, man. We got to work on it. We got to get Gate and Philly Fresh and Philly Mike all on the same page. All on the same page. Tess White said 20 and 4, 22 and 2. So we got Joshua with the Danny Green. Philly fans of Florida said Tease. Ethan coming in with the Maxey, Harden, Matisse, Harris, Embiid. Same here. Oh, he got Reed up in it. Mr. 89 said, I personally think it's going to be a multitude of reasons. Harden and Embiid are going to have hiccups. Harden going to have bumps with other teammates, defensive laps in crucial moments, and Doc Rivers lineups. Hey, listen. Look, on this channel, we try to keep it 100%, a buck, whatever you want to call it. And so if you have concerns, we got to talk about it and approach them. And listen, 24 games is 24 games. And I don't think the all-star duo in Harden and Joel Embiid are going to have hiccups because Embiid's been a 5-time all-star. Harden's been an all-star. You go to the all-star game and I know there's no defense, but offensively, you just connect with these guys. Y'all ball players. But the other guys on the team, laps on defense could be a problem. Same with Doc Rivers' lineup, and that's what we're going to have to see. And it starts Friday. Thybulle to start. Embiid, Maxey, Harden, Harris, Danny, because his game is 50-50. Thybulle with no offense, but great defense. I hear you on that. I just checked the rest of the schedule. I got us going 20 and 4. The only real hitters we play are Milwaukee, who's going to want that rematch right before the All-Star break. No James Harden. Joel Embiid dropped a 40 burger. Giannis is going to remember that and want some revenge. And we got Phoenix and Toronto. And Toronto always plays us tough, so I hear you on that. Laughing my butt off. You know Doc is going to start Korkmaz. Ryan Rowe with the tease. Fast out loud said we got to start Maxey and play in 40 minutes. Oh, yeah, Maxey's a given. I'm talking about Tease or Danny Green. That is really the one area that Doc's going to have to say, And you can really say it's matchup dependent, right? You're going against the Nets, you want Maxey in there. I mean, you're going against the Nets, you want Thybulle in there, right? Because you got to deal with Kyrie, KD. That's a problem. You're going against, a better defensive team. a team that can trap, a team that is long, a team that is big. You want Danny Green in there, not because he's good, but he's still shooting 38%. And you say, Danny Green, take your old butt into the corner and just sit there. Because one thing is, this team couldn't create the open corner three for Danny Green as much as it did in previous years. Why? Because you didn't have that ball handler that just absorbed contact or absorbed the defense, made the defense come to him. Maxi's explosive, got a quick first step, and he is a great finisher, but he's not always looking to pass out of that penetration to the hole, right? Harden, he got eyes in the back of his head. So the double team that comes from Harden, the double team that comes from Embiid, Danny Green is going to have these last 24 games are going to be more open threes for Danny Green than he's had all season. Now, him making them is a different story, but he's going to make them at a bigger clip than Matisse Thybulle. That's a fact. Harden, Maxey, Thybulle, Harris, and Embiid. I ain't mad at it. Ugly hairline with the Maxey logo. I ain't mad at that either. It's me, nobody said, when is Harden's debut? This Friday. And listen, if you are new to the channel, we are going to be doing live streams like this. Call-ins, where you guys call in and talk, not just comment in the comment section. We also do videos. I couldn't put the Cauley-Stein video out last night. I was busy. But when any news, rumors, or something big happens, we're going to drop an 8 to 12 minute video live. And we do the play-by-plays. Got the scoreboard on top. We're live, and we're talking about the game with you guys and the play-by-play. We will be here. And guess what? James Harden debuts on a Friday, so I'm going to have a fresh bottle of Crown Rizzy as James Harden and the Sixers get busy to this W. So come through. Jason, I'm just hoping James Harden is everything that everyone thinks he is. Hey, listen, Jay, you've been one of the guys who have been not anti-Harden, but not as excited and trustworthy, I should say, as we've been. But look, James Harden already had to lose like 50 pounds, bro. From the Nets pitcher to the first practice to the pitcher at practice today, James Harden is looking extra in shape. You got James Harden at his most motivated state. I'm telling you. I just think it's going to happen, Captain. I think it's going to happen. 148 in here. Still only 13 likes. Whoa. We can't have only 13 likes. I think you got to refresh that, Philly fans. We got 79 likes. The goal was 100. 100 clips. I am not from New York. And what is up with New York? They just came out today and said that veteran guard Kemba Walker will be sidelined for no reason. The Knicks are giving up. We got 24 games left, and the Knicks are giving up. That's New York for you. And when Brooklyn, the second New York team, comes to Philly, they ain't going to be feeling happy leaving. Believe that. Superhero said, to me, I want to see Harris Niang rather than Danny Green. Green can't defend crap anymore. I'll give you that, right? I'll give you Danny Green is, he wobbles like a duck. He's extra slow. But the one thing Niang's not going to be able to do is to guard that three, right? There is longer and bigger threes in this league. But I'm telling you, Niang up on the wing playing defense, at least when he was guarding Giannis, he was meeting Giannis in the post. Having Niang playing defense out at the wing might be not too good of a sign. Danny Green corner threes are low-key underrated. Yeah, it hasn't been this year, but he hasn't been able to get them opportunities. Mav fan forever said, keep Danny Green and make him go to the bench. If he's hot, good. If not, sit him the rest of the game. Hey, that is what coaches got to do. They got to play within the game, right? If you're putting Matisse Thybulle out there for defense, but the whole first quarter he's getting worked, we'll get him out. If Danny Green needed to shoot corner threes and he's not attempting them, they're not open, or he's missing, get him out. If Furkan Korkmaz is in there because blah, blah, get him out. You got to be able to adjust better than that. Eyes above said Net fans are delusional. James Harden is motivated and lost a ton of weight. He's about to be a problem. Yeah, our guy is losing weight in a record-setting time. The guy they got from us, Ben Simmons, is out there with Kyle Korver, and I got respect for Kyle Korver, right? Longtime Sixer, back there with the AI team when he was young. This man is learning how to flick his wrist 2 feet away from the basket. He ain't in no shape. And you know what Net fans are saying? Oh my gosh, Ben Simmons working on his shot with Korver. He's gonna shoot. They don't understand. They don't understand, and I can't wait. Little by little, they gonna turn on him. He thought it took Philly 4.5 years to turn on him. And it really ended when he quit on us first. Man, look, I'm just telling you, when this guy keeps showing signs that he's gonna shoot and just never does it, and then he's gonna say, let me do me. I mean, let me being honest and me being non-biased. If there was ever a team that Ben Simmons could just be him and they still be good, it's with the Golden State Warriors or the Brooklyn Nets. Because if you got Curry and Clay or Kyrie and KD, they probably don't want you to shoot the ball. Faust Out Loud said, how is Ben not going to be ready to play on March 10th? It will be a month since he got traded and he has played before and has to play before then, or his will sit out and play first game after we play Brooklyn. I mean, you never know. With Ben Simmons, anything is possible for the simple fact that everything he's done this whole offseason has been new. It hasn't been how Harden and AD handle it, right? They didn't handle it great, but they still played game and they still were, they just weren't lying and fraud. They weren't frauds, as DJ would say. You think if we get DJ Augustine or Gary Harris and keep Willie Cauley-Stein for the rest of the season, you think our chances are still good, especially knowing Kyrie fitting to come back fully? Listen, Brooklyn is going to be decent, right? Kyrie and KD with Drummond being their rebounder. I don't know. He can't defend that. He can't defend Embiid. Best believe that. He can't. You saw the beef, right? My man Andre Drummond had to apologize and buy my man a gift to even arrive in Philly. No, I'm just kidding. No doubt about the Nets got better in the sense of defense from Ben Simmons, even if he stinks on offense. They still got KD and Kyrie. But I'm telling you, this duo of Harden and Embiid, again, we just are focused on what is Harden going to do, points, rebounds, assist-wise for these Sixers. How is Harden going to perform as a Sixer? I'm not just about that. I'm about, we got Harden, and I want to see how he performs as a Sixer, of course. But, this is what Harden's going to do for Joel Embiid. This is what Harden's going to do for Maxey and Harris. This is what Harden's going to do for Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers gets put in these situations with lineup rotations and staggering that he doesn't do right. Makes it easier. And then even what is Embiid going to do for Harden? Because Harden's played with KD and Kyrie, great players. But they all kind of play the same position. They're good with the ball in their hand, and they can shoot. And they're at the top of the key, majority. Embiid is around there, but not always. It's going to open up so much space. SPB said, we seen all this BS shooting practice from exactly. But listen, I go on Twitter, and Kyle Korver has Ben Simmons 2 feet from the basket. And he got one hand on the ball, and he's flicking it. And Kyle Korver's talking to him. And I don't doubt that it's a good coaching strategy. But to see Ben Simmons go all the way back here, they're not shooting threes. They're doing some crazy thing. To hear Net fans say, oh my goodness, they sound like we did every all season. And fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, shame on you. You know the saying. I don't know that saying. But I can't wait for them to be like, wow, he about to shoot. All right. He didn't shoot in the playoffs. We got beat by the Sixers. Oh, Ben Simmons in the offseason, he going to shoot. And then they're going to be back here post All-Star game 2023 talking about this dude never going to shoot. He stink. I can't wait. Shout out to my guy, Mr. RP in the building with the $5 donation. Appreciate the support and the love. And low-key, I mess with your default picture, right? Do the Nets smell what the Sixers are cooking? I don't think so. Harden's court vision and passing ability will help everyone. Not to mention, he has the basketball IQ to be a zone. We Gucci. Facts, right? How did Spoelstra kill us, right? You know, the coaches like Eric Spoelstra, right? The Toronto Raptors coach. Good coaches, right? Even the Celtics coaches back, they play that zone. They play that. Miami Heat always tries to play that zone against us. And if Embiid is a little off, holy crap, everybody else is folding. Harden will crumble. Harden will destroy a 2-3 zone single-handedly. Minus the fact that, you know, again, this whole season, if there's one thing we missed from Ben Simmons, it was in transition, his ability to assist. Now, Harden's not faster than Ben Simmons, but the crazy thing is we don't have to be in. See, with Ben Simmons, you had to be in transition for him to get a nice pass, because in the half-court set, he just handed the ball off to Seth Curry or Tyrese Maxey, and then he went into the dunker spot and just drifted away. In transition, he's dirty. Harden is going to be not as fast, but dirty in transition. And as Mr. Rody P said, the dude's court vision is immaculate. And all these assists that we didn't get in the half court are going to be there. And again, Danny Green, for as much as we like to poo-poo on Danny Green, and I've been a fair share of taking a poo-poo on Danny Green's name, his corner threes haven't been as open or as I can't even say it. They haven't been available like they were in years past. That all changes. All changes. Because of Harden, because of the fact that there's two players that have to be double teamed, right? Joel Embiid has to. Like, they might try to single Harden sometimes in the game, which is going to be, you know, a motivated Harden, a skinny Harden is going to be a problem for single coverage by anybody on the Nets, right? Listen, let's not act like James Harden throughout his career when he was skinny and motivated ain't poo-poo on Ben Simmons. He got buckets on Ben Simmons multiple times. There's a thread on Twitter. Sorry, we just hit an hour and I didn't bring no water up. You know, your boy is dying. But there's a thread on Twitter of Harden just poo-pooing on Ben Simmons. And at the end of the day, we didn't play the Rockets much. And, you know, with Harden maybe missing the game, Ben possibly in and out of the lineup, you know, I just know that there's a thread on Twitter that not only is James Harden scoring on Ben Simmons, but in the same thread, he's playing great defense on him. And, you know, with Ben Simmons being afraid to shoot and all that, James Harden's smart. Multiple times in the game, James Harden left him, stepped like 5 feet back and said, go ahead and shoot it. One of them, Ben Simmons shot, brick. And the other ones, Ben tried to back him down, and he said, no, you're not. I'm still a little strong too, bro. Aaron said, I'm not nervous about the Nets. I'm way more nervous for a team like the Celtics or the Heat. Celtics don't scare me. I know they blew us out, but they don't scare me. Now, my brother is a Heat fan, and he's talking mad trash. So the Heat are a team that not one player in particular scares me, but Spoelstra's a good coach. They got that Heat vibe. Jimmy, Bam, they're shooters. You know, they're a team that put things together, but I'm not scared of them either. The Bucks are for real, but we showed the Bucks that, you know, they didn't have Brook Lopez. I understand that, and Chris Middleton was off, but we showed them we can compete without Harden. Joshua said he's 2022 Markelle Fultz. Facts. Bro, that's a shooting technique you teach a 5-year-old. That's what I'm saying, man. I was dying when I saw quote tweets of hold up, wait a minute. You thought Ben was finished. No, knock it off. Knock it off. And it matters a lot for shooters to catch a pass in the shooting pocket, right? Exactly. You catch a ball here, you got to catch it, and then you got to do this. You catch it down here, you catch it up here. You catch that boy in stride, money. And Danny Green, listen, I'm not trying to get people back on the Danny Green bandwagon because after this year, bye, Danny Green. See ya. Get out. I don't want you back on this team. But while he's on this team, in these last 24 games, we're going to see a better version of Danny Green. Listen, I don't want Danny Green on this team after this year. I'm not even trying to sell Danny Green to you guys. I'm not at all. Nets and 4, you capping. Real quick, let me repeat myself. I don't want Danny Green on this team. I'm not trying to sell him to you guys. But in these last 24 games, Danny Green's going to have more wide open threes from the wing and especially the corner than he's had for the previous 50. And it starts with Harden. More open threes. He's still shooting 38%. See you later after this season. But we going to get some green light from the corner. And then when that's happening while he's here, I'm going to be saying green light. You know what I call him. I'll be in there in the live play-by-plays come through. A. Harlow said, Harden too thick, post defense on point. Yeah, well, he lost weight. So let's see how the post defense is. But whatever he lost on defense, he's going to drop an extra 10 points on offense. Oh, whoa. What's your name? What are you doing up in here like that? That's some weird stuff. Eric R. said, only team I'm looking at are the 3 in the West. He said, I'm not scared of no East team. Do me a favor, right? So shout out to the 160 in here. Did we get over 100 likes? Are we over 100 likes? Come on. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe. We do this and more live play-by-plays, but I got a question for you. So I asked you guys, what was James Harden's stat line? If you had to predict James Harden's stat line for this Friday, y'all predicted that. Cool. What is the record going to be for the last 24 games? Y'all predicted that. Cool. Now I just want to know. I'm not saying that you are scared of a Eastern Conference team. You might not be scared of them, and kudos to you. But if you had to pick the biggest threat to the Sixers, type it in the comment section. If you think it's the Nets, if you think it's the Bucks, if you think it's the Heat, if you think it's the Celtics, give me your biggest threat to the Sixers. I want to know. Mike, if given an opportunity, who would you trade? Furkan, Clownsmoss, and for and why? I would trade him for any type of guard. You want to give a guard to get a guard. At this point, you know, if you get him off the contract and even bring me a guy like DJ Augustine, I'm taking it. You know what I mean? I'll take any 2 guard that's available for Furkan. You miss 100% of the time the shot you don't take, said by the greatest hockey player of all time. That's Ben. Ugly Hairline said Green going to be one of the better shooters down the stretch. I'm with you on that. Sixers in 3. Talk about it. Tobias will benefit from Harden too. Facts. We talked about Harris missing Simmons because of playing more uphill instead of down here. Catch and make a move. Catch and do this. Too much ISO ball for Tobias Harris early in the season. That changes. Tobias Harris don't got to be the second or third scorer on this team. He could be the third or fourth. Tobias Harris don't got to create his own shot. Harden will do that. And so will Embiid. So much. So let's see what y'all say. Ugly Hairline said the Bucks. Which King in the building? What's up with you, my guy? We got the Bucks from SB. Just found the channel. This is fire, bro. You got a new sub from Camden right over the bridge. Shout out to David. Junior in the building. Listen, man, we do these live streams like this, Sixers and Eagles. We also do the play-by-play. So whether you're watching the game yourself, but you just want to chat it up with some Sixer fans, we have the scoreboard. If you're out on the road and you can't catch a Sixer game, I got you covered. And we also drop videos. We just, this is what we do. Sixers, Eagles all day. We're going to be dropping them nonstop. Kane said Nets. Warriors from the West, Bucks from the East. The Bucks are leading it. Celtics from Ethan. Low key, Joshua said Green will be money the last 24 games. It's raining on him. I'm with it. Which King went to Miami? My brother would love to hear that, as he's a Miami Heat fan. I don't understand why my brother don't. My brother is a Jets and a Heat fan. Like, what happened to him? Is he adopted? Come on, it's Eagles and Sixers over here. Heat and Bucks says swoop. Bucks in Boston. Bucks, Heat. Whew. Miami and the Bucks only because of coaching. Hey, I told exposure. But listen, you know what I'm going to love? Miami Heat comes to the Philadelphia 76ers, or we go to them when Spoelstra in the middle of the second quarter switches to that 2-3 zone. You know what Harden's going to do? He going to point to Spoelstra and start laughing. He said, I watched tape. I saw what you did to the Sixers multiple times with that 2-3 zone and throw them off. Doc Rivers all like, what's going on? What's going on? Joel Embiid getting triple teamed by pretty long defenders like Bam Adebayo and the likes of, Jimmy Butler around here trying to swipe at his leg at the ball when he puts it on the ground. When James Harden sees that 2-3 zone, he going to obliterate it. Can't wait. 58 Fresh said Tobias is officially a role player getting paid like a superstar. That we cannot change, right? If you ask me, is Tobias ever going to, or has he ever lived up to that contract? No. But as Tobias Harris, he's not going to say, hey, Elton Brand, you don't have to pay me that much. Elton Brand decided to pay this man that much. He just took it. So at the end of the day, since I don't deal with the money, I can only say this. If we can get rid of that contract, get rid of it, because it opens up another max spot for the Sixers. And oh boy, is there a story developing around Tobias Harris and Bradley Beal. But we're not going to talk about that until later, because we got some good things to talk about when it comes to the Sixers right here and right now. However, all I can worry about is Tobias being productive. I don't even like to think of what he makes. Just be productive. John said, will the Nets stay healthy? I say no. That is a good thing, right? KD, I don't know. Kyrie has always had injury problems. And listen, I'm a fierce competitor myself, right? I don't want the Nets to be injured. I want to take down Brooklyn at their fullest. But as John Black said, who knows if they're going to be able to get there? Doc Rivers, all bench lineup, better not ever touch the playoffs. Philly Special said, I'm most scared of the Bucks, but I think we could take anyone in the East, if not the league. Talk about it with your chest out. Getting James Harden, having the MVP on your team. Listen, Sixer Nation, I don't got to tell you, because you don't let nobody. We the bullies. We the bullies. So I don't need to tell you this, but the national media trying to act like we got worse is disgusting. Disgusting. And the Heat fans, my brother, Celtic fans, Buck fans still like, yeah, we not really worried about Philly still. Whoa. Y'all gonna need to be worried about us. Y'all gonna need to be worried about us. Need to be worried about us. Fast Out Loud said, Philly Mike, do you only ride with the Eagles and Sixers, or do you mess with the Flyers? Oh, we not. Well, not now. And the Phillies, here's my thing. I'm a 4 for 4, right? I really only mess with Eagles and Sixers, like watching all the time. The Phillies, I pay attention to. I just don't have time to watch 160 games plus do content for the Eagles and Sixers. Flyers, I say I'm a fan because it's Philadelphia everything. However, I don't even know how to play hockey. Like, I know there's a puck and there's a goalie. I don't know if they have wings or forwards, or I don't know nothing. So Flyers are good. Flyers are garbage. I'm a fan, but I don't know nothing about it. I'm just a Philadelphia. Give me the Union, and if the USFL comes through and there's a team called the Philly Stars, sign me up with that. Don't mean I'm gonna be able to watch and report on it, but I'm Philadelphia everything. All day, every day. All day, every day. Brian said, Tobias as a third wheel could work, much less pressure for this season. Exactly. And there's going to be nights when Tobias ain't all there. He might even be able to drop to the fourth wheel, right? Consistently, he's not going to be able to drop to the fourth wheel every game. But there's going to be games where Maxey is involved, right? We not forgetting about Tyrese Maxey. We not forgetting about the guy that James Harden talked to in a huddle, and he went out and dropped 12 points in the last 4 minutes of a quarter. We not forgetting about that guy, right? Who still got that dog in him himself. So this is what I want to see from the Sixers. Joel Embiid is the man. James Harden picks his poison. This game, I'm about to get 15 assists because Harris, Embiid, Maxey, Green, maybe a Furkan Korkmaz. These guys are hot, so I'm going to feed them. Next game, Embiid's the man. Harden, a couple of the Sixers are a little off. It's all good. I'll drop 30 alongside of Embiid. And then after Harden being the number 2, one game it's Tobias. Next game is Maxey. Next game is Tobias. Next game is Maxey. Like that number 3 spot is a revolving door. And that gets the pressure, as Brian said, off of Tobias. He could play freely. And more important, not only is the pressure off him, he don't have to create for himself. He got a master that can create for him. Flyers are garbage, so I've been told. Swoop said, have you seen Ben's new ugly jumper? My man gonna be shooting one-hand shots. Mike, what you say with Toby and Bradley Beal? What do you know? Talk to Philly Mike. You just open up a can of what? Let me just, I'm gonna drop a video, but I don't want to take away what's going on right here and right now. But low-key, Zach Lowe, a writer for the NBA and a guy who dazzles in everything, has thrown this little thing out there where this could be Tobias Harris's last year, in a sense of, I forgot what the term is, and I would bring the article up and read it with you guys. But there's a thing we can do with his contract where we pretty much just let it go, right? Or we find a team like the Thunder who's willing to buy a old veteran contract for more draft picks. There's a thing we can do where we end up sending Harris to the Thunder. We get little back. We're only really doing that to free up another max spot, and then it's like wide open. Max spot wide open, right? I'll talk more about it in depth, but right now we got Harden, we got Embiid, 3 with Harris or Maxey, 4 with one or the other. And what we got right now, is it the front running 100% championship team? No, because the Bucks are good. The Nets might be pretty good. Heat, and then the West is good. But for anybody looking at the Sixers roster and saying, no, I'm looking at them and saying, what is wrong with you? Embiid is 3rd in the East pretty much the whole season with a $30 million hole in the contract, on the roster. I don't want to hear that we can't compete. Nash said that KD will be back before Ben even to play, so that's probably the beginning of the next month. Ben will be back after the 10 playoff starts in April. Yeah, Ben coming back next year fully, right? Sam, I always watch the Sixers, Eagles, and check scores sometimes to the Phillies, to be fair. There you go. That's how it be sometimes. Ronald in the building, been a minute. Playing Ben without Kyrie and KD would be such... Yo, could you imagine? First of all, it'd be crazy if it happened to the game that they came back to Philly, right? Knock on wood, because I don't wish injury on nobody, but for some reason, Ben Simmons is playing. KD or Kyrie, one or both of them, take a maintenance day or something along them lines. And Ben Simmons got to be the scorer for the Nets against the Sixers. That would be lovely, lovely, lovely. James Harden did a number on the mental of health of the Nets fan base. The mental health of the Net fan base is all twisted. All 33 of them are scared. And the Net fans are scared. I don't care what they say. You know why I know they're scared? Because they're saying we think Ben Simmons is going to shoot. When we said that, they tried to clown us. We actually thought it for the simple fact that he was actually doing it in the offseason, and we were fooled. I was fooled. Now they want to come back and be like, hold up. He might do it now, though. Doubt it. Max for Embiid. He deserves it, and he got it. Harden can take a pay cut. Oh, that's what it is. There it is. Harden takes a pay cut, get rid of Tobias, and we get Beal, fix up the bench. Yeah, so listen, part of the reasons why James Harden didn't opt into his contract for next year, because the first reporting was James Harden to the Sixers for blah, 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 and he opted in next year to be a Sixer for this year and next year. Then they say he didn't do it, but he's going to do it. Rumor is that we are going to get rid of Tobias to a team like OKC, who's willing to take big contracts so they can act like they're winning while they continue to tank because they got 1,000 draft picks. So OKC can tank. They get Harris to help tank. We free up the spot of Harris's. Harden takes a discount, and we get Bradley Beal for our second championship run because we about to do one this year. Mavs fan forever said there has been news that New York will lift its restrictions and making Kyrie full-time player. We need all hands on deck on defense if that happens. That's true. Kyrie's no slouch, but that's not going to be the end-all be-all because, again, I think we got the firepower to fight with Brooklyn, and I think we got Ben Simmons on their team. And when in doubt, hack a Ben. Listen, Ben Simmons shot the worst percentage in NBA history in that Atlanta Hawks series. However, I'm not saying that Ben Simmons is going to come back and be that bad again, right? I don't think he's going to be 30%, 28%, 30%, whatever he was again. But if we get in his head and he's shooting that bad, you automatically go to hack a Ben and then see what he got. Brian said, so tiring hearing that. I'm so tired of hearing the national media blame the fans for Ben quitting on us. Philly hate runs deep. To hell with all of them. Brian, I agree 100%. That to me is one of the most laughable statements ever. Not only did we support Ben Simmons for 3.5, 4 years, we stuck up for him. We lied. We defended him. And it took a lot of us down to the nitty gritty. I kind of fell off after the All-Star game, right? The dude played really good to get to the All-Star last year. Then he fell off. I was upset with him. Just, kind of low-key taking a back seat. And you can see the intensity was way low. Then all the reports about COVID and him faking it. Then his explosion, his just destruction in the playoffs, and then him quitting on the team and just never taking accountability, all that stuff. But even in the Hawk series, you had that guy trying to will his free throw in. By no means did we give up on him. He gave up on us. We booed him. We booed Joel Embiid more than Ben Simmons. And what did Joel Embiid do? Turn it into an MVP caliber player. He took it and he got better from it. It's a love type boo that we do. We boo in a losing game because we want you to come out next game and get a dub. Simple as that. We going on an hour and 20 minutes. We still got 169 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody in here. We're not going to go much longer. It's 11 o'clock. Listen, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't done it already, hit the like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. It's greatly appreciated. And listen, Friday, I will have a brand new bottle of Crown Rizzy. We're going to do the game, scoreboard, play-by-play, chatting it up, loving every minute of it. Come through. Come through. Best way to always know when I drop Sixers content is to not only subscribe, but hit that bell, turn that notification bell on so you know when we got things going. Shout out to y'all. The next Sixer Live will be a call-in where I put a link in the chat. You click the link. You can put your camera on. It could be a computer or a cell phone, iPhone, Android, doesn't matter. You can have your camera off. You can have your camera on. It could be voice. It could be video. You let me know. But it won't be today. Simmons is our secret weapon. Exactly. We got a secret weapon that plays for the ops. We just got to use it. Kyrie is a crappy teammate. Hacker Ben in full effects. Facts. No one will ever ask Ben to shoot from 3 all the time. We just wanted him. Yeah, we didn't. We just, listen, all people wanted threes. People wanted mid-range jumpers. Philly Mike even went as little as just be more aggressive going to the rim. That's really all I wanted. Be more aggressive going to the rim. Ben is the Trojan horse sent to destroy Brooklyn. Shout out to my guy, the journeyman. I agree with you, bro. KT the King in the building. We about to get off, my guy. You should have been here earlier. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know. Huge news. Russia invaded your... Whoa. I don't know what's going on. Brian C said, and all that, and all... And at all, whoa. Can't see? That's it. Sometimes you get over that hour, your boy Philly might be going crazy. And at the end, all we wanted was a freaking layup. A layup. He wouldn't even give us that. Not only did he not give us the layup, but then after the game, he could have said, that's on me. That's on me. I got to be better. You know what he said? Did you see how many assists I had? Did you see how good a defense I played on Trey? It's me. I'm going to do me. I am who I am. He could have said, bro, I don't know what happened. I let you guys down. I got to be better. And even that would have made half and some say, you know what, let's see what he got. The man just quit. Big fat quit. Any other buyout rumors can believe Willie Cauley-Stein is our answer. Well, he wasn't our answer. I believe we had another center target. I think it fell through, and then we fell, and then, you know, we definitely just secured someone instead of nobody. But it don't look like we're going to get anybody, to be honest. Bing, and it can't, Ben, I don't know, can be aggressive going to the rim because he can't shoot free throws. That's why. Yes, in the Hawks series, he couldn't be aggressive because he was scared of the free throw line. I understand that. I'm not just talking about the Hawks series. I'm talking about the remainder of the schedule after the All-Star game. Went in a little. That's old news. I don't even know. I just read it and I don't know. So I'm not trying to be like the type. I'm not trying to talk politics. You know what I mean? Talking has like Garrett Arenas talking about we have to trade a whole team for Harden after trade he's gave too much up. Nah, listen. Friday's gonna be the first start of something beautiful. Get your popcorn, get your beer, get your liquor, and if you're not old enough to drink, get your soda, get your Gatorade, get your water, get your juice. Whatever you're going to do, make sure your snacks, make sure your drink, make sure your phone, make sure the TV's on the Sixers and your phone is on the Philly Talk podcast. So you can type in with the great comments that my subscribers and Sixer Nation has, and you can hear Philly Mike comments because you know we go ham. Funny, serious, sad, mad. You never know what you're going to get when we sipping on that Crown Rizzy. The whole Sixer team about to get busy. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, videos, live streams, call-ins, and play-by-plays. We are out. Peace.